I love Anthem. Not that it's a perfect game, and not that I would say now is the perfect time to return, but because it's a game that for one reason or another sparks joy in me every time I play it. Every time that I get to hang out with my friends in voice chat, run a stronghold, or just fly around the world free play, for one reason or another, this is some online RPG that reminds me of my first online RPG, which was Phantasy Star Online. Now, over a month has passed since its troubled launch back in February, and with March coming to an end, I thought now would be a perfect time to explore the current state of Anthem as a part review, part state of the game for March 2019. Back when Final Fantasy XV launched its multiplayer expansion Comrades, I jumped in, and beyond the loading screens and beyond the issues, when you were out in the field with your friends, there was fun to be had. The issues that eventually drove me out of the game was pretty much the concept of waiting 20 minutes for loading and waiting and prepping for 5 minutes of fun. Now, Anthem in some respects feels somewhat the same way. There's a lot to manage in the game, people to talk with, but when you just want to get out there and play in the field, you first have to wait. That's where this game feels like beyond the gameplay, players are waiting for something that will take some time, and growing frustrated because the thing that they love and want to enjoy has more work to be done before it's truly ready. In March, Anthem moved the Forge into the main menu, and it now loads instantly. It's in this speed that I find hope for the game itself. Hope balanced by the understanding that these changes that the players really want, it's going to take, unfortunately, a lot of time. Now, online, with forums like Reddit, the frustration really comes from one perspective, and that's the question of loot. How much you get and how often you get it and what should really drop with it. But that's really only masking the core issue of the game itself. It just needs more. It just needs more of everything. I keep wanting more bars to fill. Imagine, if you will, every time you're out flying, you're leveling up your flying skill, or harvesting, leveling up your harvesting skill, or using guns and gear and leveling them up by maybe even feeding them these useless drops that eventually you're going to get. That's, I think, at its core when people seeing like a blue or purple, the problem is that that blue or purple doesn't really add any value. It's supposed to be married with the consumable system, but that system is somewhat on its own. And so there's definitely improvements. There's definitely thought that you can see how these things would interact and why they'd be valuable. But in the end, people want progression. There are thousands of possibilities of what direction that this game will take, but again, the message is, and unfortunately will be, wait. Now, BioWare has been hard at work, and I think fears that they're going to close this game down or the studio would be shut down anytime soon really doesn't look at the full picture. These arguments are rooted in fear and distrust of their owner and publisher EA, who just recently laid off 350 people within their PR and marketing teams. So I'm not saying that it's not founded when it comes to things like EA, but just having received that the game has made over $100 million in its first launch is good and bad. It doesn't really tell the full picture, but it also could obviously be a lot higher. I think that has a lot to do, and they have to look at what's going to bring the players back in the long term. But it doesn't make sense to do that and try to get people to come back and play your game when it truly really isn't ready for the prime time, for what people have expected it to be and what people hope that it could be. In fact, at its core, this game I think has so much potential that it's easy to see its potential and start to assume what's going to happen. I have to temper that within myself. But it's fun and exciting if it's managed appropriately, where speculation doesn't run rampant and you don't set your expectations up to something that's impossible. One of the things I often see is that people are expecting that changes are going to be made right now, that it's going to be fixed within the next update, and that's the miracle patch. And coming from Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, I understand that mindset. I understand that people really want the next update to be like, yep, that's it, all the issues are fixed, now's the time to come back in. Realistically and foundationally, it's probably not going to be one patch, but 10 patches, and that's going to happen over the course of probably the next 6 weeks to 6 months, because it's going to take a lot of time to fundamentally get at these issues. When you look at the issue of loot and the question of loot, I say that it actually is masking the lack of content in this game. If you were showered with nothing but legendaries, eventually you'd be asking yourself, well, now what do? I can easily clear GM3. What do I do? And so that's really where RNG is fascinating, because some people who have gotten all those amazing drops are asking those questions. And for somebody like myself who, kind of plays it in different sections of the week, I'm really enjoying every time I see a legendary drop. But anything that's usually masterwork and down now has no value, and I'm hopeful that they can actually kind of fix that fundamental issue. It brings a bell back to me where I say I want more bars to fill. Give me more things to do. Make this investment that I'm playing in the game right now worthwhile in 1 year, and in 5 years, and in 10 years. Now, as I continue to play this game, I'm finding myself wishing that I could really go from one mission to the next, wishing that free play was this giant hub, this beautiful hub of a world that I could launch my missions from, my contracts from, all of the said above from, where my friends just join me and we go and we start playing, and then we are able to do a lot of different things. Removal of downtime, I think, is key to the overall success of this game, that it will be judged within the next 6 months, within the next year, about how much downtime has to get managed. Luke Smith, when he announced Destiny 2, talked about they wanted to remove as many obstacles from you playing the game. And that's really where I think foundationally people love the gameplay. Could it be better? Could they improve upon it? Absolutely. But as a starting point, I think it actually speaks really strongly to what they have crafted here. Work has to be done. I feel that it is being done. What they showed me with the changes they made in March is that this game was poorly optimized when it launched. It still I wouldn't call it an optimized game, but it has made such improvement from where we were on the 15th of February to now. And it really has me excited to see what updates are included within April, what's happening in May, and then we have Act 2 and Act 3, which should take us, again, another 6 months of time. So I still wouldn't recommend this game to anybody who's either on the fence, has enough games to play right now, but is curious. I think that curiosity about this game really speaks a lot. I think that's actually a really good thing for the overall health of the game. As long as they keep working hard on it, they keep showing us how much this game is going to change, how much it's going to improve over time. And that's really all we can really do at this point. If you're really frustrated with the state of the game right now, I'd advise do something else. Division 2 is out there and it's really crushing it. People are really satisfied with that game. I think that's ultimately really good for this game. I think it's good for all of these games to have this level of competition, to see what people are doing right, what is working, and how they could do their own kind of spin or twist on that. There's a long road ahead, but just like I said when I opened this video, I love Anthem. I love this game. I love the world, I love the lore, I love its history, I love how much potential there is about it. I love it every time I can jump in, every time that loading screen finishes loading, every time I'm flying, falling, shooting, looting, and really just all of that. If they can lean more into that, if they can really give me that which I crave the most and remove that which keeps me from what it is that is sparking joy in me, ultimately this is going to be really a satisfactory game. Keep paying attention to it if you're interested in it. Keep hating it if you have nothing else better to do. It really doesn't matter, because there's magic here. It's built on magic. There's this wonderment that I cannot wait to see how this game evolves. So I'm along for the journey. But you probably can, choose to discount what I say, and probably that might be a good thing. There is a concept of sunk cost. I've paid for the game. I've created a podcast around the game. So there is essentially inherently a thing that I wanted the game to succeed. I don't think that I'm doing that, but again, I just want to give you the full detail. We're going to be talking about it. And I'm very thankful for what I saw in March. I'm excited to see what I see in April. I'm concerned because a lot of the people are putting hope in something that actually is masking the core issue. And hopefully, lots of hope here. Hopefully that's something that's going to be addressed as we go forward. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for guilds. I cannot wait to see what they have in store for the leaderboard system. And we're gonna keep checking it out. And maybe we'll do another state of the game about Anthem as we go forward. It is an interesting topic, in my opinion. So guys, for State of the Game for March 2019, this is Brian and this is Work to Game. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Love to see what you're thinking, whether you're on the fence, whether you've been burnt, or if you're going to be returning or planning to return whenever the game feels ready. So let me know, let's have that conversation. And beyond that, just going to wish you a fantastic week, and I hope your April is as good or better than your March. Take care. Hey, it's me. It's been a while since I talked to you guys directly this way, but don't tell anybody. We've got even more epic content planned for this channel. The response has been incredible. We hope to see you. If you're new, hit subscribe, leave us a comment. I'd like to talk to you more about video games. I can't seem to speak my language. All right.